It's important to get through it together first before you share it with others. Again, sort out yourself first. So I recently watched a video with Jada Pinkett-Smith and Will Smith talking about their relationship in an open and upfront manner, which is really brave because they were able to connect to themselves and hopefully help others as well to connect to themselves and their relationships so that they're able to grow, develop and know why it is they feel the way they do and act the way they do. It's a really important reaction video for me because it's going to help us all to be able to identify with ourselves what's going on for us in our relationships so that we can grow and develop, make the best decisions for ourselves. They've been married 25 years and it's important that no matter where you are in your relationship, you're able to identify with other people and yourself in the most truthful and honest way possible. Here is my take on that interview.
We actually became really, really good friends. And it all started with him just needing some help. You know, me wanting to help his health, his mental state.
Because for me, that was the thing when Og first came around, he was really sick.
He was really sick, yeah.
And the outpouring for him from our family was initially about his health.
Yeah. And I mean, we found all those different resources, you know, to help pull him through.
You can see just how important it is that Jada was able to give her care and attention to someone in need. This is something which, being a therapist, I think is really important, not just for me, but also for everyone, to be able to give something back to someone that you care about, someone that needs you. And when that happens, what you'll find is that you have an emotional connection to that person, and that person then becomes a part of your life and feelings will start to grow. And that doesn't mean that necessarily everyone you care for you'll end up wanting to be in a relationship with, but it just puts you on a different emotional pathway with that person. It creates a new type of relationship.
From there, you know, you and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided...
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though.
Yeah,
Marriages have that.
Yeah.
And just then, their marriage was on the rocks. So it doesn't surprise me that emotions are all over the place and Jada might have been looking for her rock, somewhere for her to put her attention to, and also someone that would care for her, someone that would be there and that she could rely on herself. So you can see just why that relationship started to grow, and that maybe it wasn't all about the sex. Maybe it was about something else, that emotional safety, connection and stability that she was looking for when her marriage was falling apart.
One thing I want to get clear about and clean up, one of the things that was kind of swirling in the press about you giving permission, which is you know, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission because we were separated amicably.
Yeah.
And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not a homewrecker, which he's not.
I think so. I mean, because this is your red table and you like brought yourself to the red table. I think you need to say clearly what happened.
As far as what?
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August.
You can really see how Jada Pinkett-Smith is trying her best to help her husband, Will Smith, to not feel so bad and also to exonerate herself from that responsibility. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. For her, she had this relationship with someone else outside of the marriage. But that relationship, as in their marriage, they'd separated. It wasn't there in the same way that it had been. So for her, it felt like it was okay to do it in that moment. And she's trying her best, now she's back in a relationship with her husband, Will Smith, to make sure that he feels safe with it. And it's important to recognize just where the emotions lie in that situation. She cares for her husband. She wants to soften the blow, and she doesn't want to feel that fallout that she has caused that rift. And in that moment when she had that romantic relationship, her thoughts weren't with her husband. Her thoughts were with, how can I take care and prepare myself for a world where I'm no longer married?
I was in a lot of pain and I was very broken. Now, in the process of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
That's a really important point. You can't find happiness outside of yourself. Things will come and go in your life that will cause you to feel happy, but that happiness or contentment is something that comes from within, from a secure base. And if you're looking from someone else or something else to provide you with that safety, contentment, and happiness all the time, it's never going to happen. And you'll end up just back where you started from, which is feeling alone and unhappy and sad and out of control. So it's important that you connect to yourself and know what it is that you need within yourself to feel that confidence, happiness, and contentment.
Definitely saying we did everything that we could to get away from each other, only to realize that that wasn't possible.
So we come into the red table. So I'm in the Jada position right now. So
Okay.
you know, you during that time launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long. I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing.
It was important for Jada to connect to herself in that way. And unfortunately, it meant that she had to go through that relationship in order to connect to herself. But do you see the growth that she has manifested through this whole event? She's broken from her husband. She's entered into a relationship with someone else. But by doing that, she could see where she was going wrong. She could see what she needed in order to feel safe and secure, in order for her to be herself. And she could see that that doesn't really work anymore. She doesn't have to fix someone else in order to be happy being her. She can just be her and have people be happy around her because they're sorted in themselves. And as a result, she can feel that she can be herself and not need to change around other people for them to feel happy. It's a really important step for her because now she can feel that she can just be her and relax into herself, not have to be working to fix everyone else in order for her to feel safe.
Really deep healing. You know, and as I came through and started to realize certain things about you and I, he decided to break all communication with me,
Right.
which was totally understandable.
Right.
And I let that be and hadn't talked to him since.
No.
So it is a little weird that all this stuff is coming out now, since this was
Yeah, because for me, this
several-
was years ago, right? You know.
Even though it's years ago, can you see how important it is to revisit that past trauma, those past events, because it allows you to connect them in a different way. And especially if you're sharing that with someone else, it allows you both to be on the same page, to talk about this stuff and connect to it so that you are reading from the same hymn sheet, so that one person isn't feeling angry and one person feels happy about it. You both know where each other stand, you both know your rationale and motives for acting in that way, and therefore you're able to connect in that place of, this is something that happened, but now we've got through it together. And this is something that really helps in terms of relationship therapy, getting on the same page and creating a narrative together about that situation and also how life is going to look in the future, so that you don't have all these ill feelings playing a role in how you're interacting with that person, also other people, and most importantly, yourself.
I think it could feel weird for people that we're laughing and talking about it, but
It happened so long ago.
You know, and our experiences of working through it, fighting through it, talking through it, therapizing
Right.
through it, I think that the why now is weird.
Yeah. When I say it's been a huge healing of my life, and just what I had to
It's important to
confront
get through
and
it
discover,
together first before
you know,
you share it with
about
others.
myself, the ugly truths and the beauty. So it was something that I felt like wasn't really ready to be discussed because it hadn't been that
Again, sort
healing,
out yourself
because
first.
He hasn't wanted to you know, Og and I haven't talked in so long. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This all seemed very strange, you know. But I'm grateful for the journey that you.
And that's something else that's really important when it comes to infidelity, but also when it comes to any sort of behavior or anyone in your life that's causing you pain. You need to make sure that you're able to separate yourself from that situation, from that person, from that substance, from that situation, so that you don't feel that you are at the mercy of it anymore. You don't end up feeling the same way that you did when you're with that person, because it makes it so much more likely that you'll do that thing again.
We came together young, and we were both broken in our own ways, and to be able to make mistakes without the fear of losing your family is so critical.
Yeah. It's the idea of any relationship and trying to get to deeper understanding of love is going to be forged in fire.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that I'm deeply grateful in this whole process between you and I is that we have really gotten to that new place
Yes.
of unconditional love.
Because I wasn't sure I was ever going to speak to you again.
I know.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm speaking to you again is a miracle.
I would agree.
Can you see how important it is to recognize that anger? Because by Will Smith being able to tell his wife just how angry he was, they're able to connect to it. So it's not something that's hidden. Again, no secrets. Again, something that's really important in any relationship. If you're keeping secrets from each other, it's going to end up eroding that relationship. It's really brave of Will Smith to be able to tell his wife that he was really angry with her and that he may have not wanted to ever see her again. Be brave, be honest with each other, and then you can start to rebuild together. It's not a solitary act. So what I've taken from this video is that no matter what, you need to keep on talking. You need to be honest with each other so that you know what it is that you both need from the relationship going forward. And then you can start to rebuild no matter what's happened so that you're on the same page in the future. Also, linking back to what Jada Pinkett-Smith was talking about, she didn't know herself, so she didn't know why it was that she was acting in that way. And through her own self-development and self-reflection, she was able to pinpoint what it was that she needed from the relationship. And what she needed was the ability to fix someone else for her to feel happy. So it doesn't surprise me that she turned to August to give her that sense of validation, success, warmth, happiness. But that was based on past trauma, and that past trauma has a massive impact in not only the way that she was identifying with that relationship with her husband, but most importantly herself. And by understanding what it is that's driving you, then you can start to make a decision about what's the most important part of that whole decision-making process. Is it from past trauma? Is it actually what you want right now? Remember, on average, we're changing every 5 years or so on a behavioral level. So if you think about that in terms of you're living that way that you lived 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, expecting the same results from that behavior, you're always going to feel disappointed. It's never going to lead you to feel that you're in control and you're working on what you want right now. You're living in the past. Why don't you leave me a comment sharing with me what you thought about the video? Do you see either party as being wrong or right? Or do you see that they needed to go through that trauma in order to get to a stronger position together? I wish you all the best. I look forward to seeing you next time. And if this is a video that you enjoyed, why don't you give it a thumbs up and let me know. And I'll try and do some more videos like this in the future. See you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.